Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and this is the live show for Thursday evening, May 4th. This is a continuation. We just finished page 4, and now we're moving on to page 6. So we still have to pick our papers and set up our page and all of that. But I do think that we're going to have no problem getting this fully matted this evening. So, because we still have an hour and 15 minutes left to go. So we're going to be in good shape. So one thing I wanted to mention about this album, for those of you who have been collecting my things that are 10 inches, so that would be the manuals and album basics guides for the following albums. Would be Twice the Fun, Half the Fun, the 10-inch version of Hip to Be Square, which is coming up, although Hip to Be Square is for sale already. What am I missing? Split Decision, which teaches you a new binding system if you already know the infinity binding system. Because this is 10 inches tall, you can use this in the 10-inch, add it to your 10-inch catalog. So you can use this with, one thing you could do that I was thinking is if you did like pages from Split Decision, the 10 by 10 pages from Split Decision, or the 10 by 10 pages from Twice the Fun, if you picked any of those pages and put these in between them as slightly shorter pages, you wouldn't have to do the Split Decision binding because they're the same height. But you could also put then, because they're 7 inches, you could put the Half the Fun pages in there because the Half the Fun are 5 by 10. So you could have like 10 by 10, 7 by 10, and 5 by 10 all in one album, just like as a mix, because they all go on the infinity binding the exact same way. So it doesn't matter if they're all the same height, you don't have to use Split Decision. And then you can have a bunch of different size variety in terms of not just height, like you do with Split Decision gives you height variety, but this would give you size width variety, and you wouldn't have to do anything special with the binding to accommodate that. Okie dokie. All right, so last page. We can do whatever we want because we can. So the 2 pages from the Pier collection that I've wanted to use but haven't found a place for yet are the Craft Polka Dots. I'm going to pull this one out as well because that might be, and you can find any of those sets of instructions that I just mentioned at kathrynscraps.com and then in the store under manuals. I'm going to pull this out. And then go ahead and find the sunbrellas. There they are. I want to use the sunbrellas too. All right. So already I'm thinking, let's cut this so it's, you know, making a point in the center. So since the way that we would cut this is I would put the center on 3 3/8 and then cut, and then I would flip it around and cut it 6 3/4. So because I want a 6 3/4 inch band, but I want it going down the middle, so if I put the center point at 3 3/8, which that's half of 6 3/4, then that'll cut this to 3 3/8, and then I can just cut this side to 6 3/4. And then my chevron, if I've done it correctly, should be centered. All right. So it's going to look like that. All right. And do I want that there or do I want that here? Let's see. Cut this on. Oh no, this has got to go. Yeah. Actually, these are going to, yeah. Okay, that's going to go there. All right. So now I want something really bright and vibrant for the flap, something that can kind of compete with that. And I think I'll pass on this, and I don't need to use it right now. So let's go to the kit that I made myself. And let's see, right off the bat, this will make a good liner because it'll pull in that blue. And let me pull this. We're looking for something to go right here and then something for the flap. And we may not find it here. Yeah, that's okay. Got our liner. Let me just flip through. I thought I saw something I might kind of like better for a liner. Ooh. What caught my eye? It was like a blue floral of some kind. Not that one, this one. It's too white, I think. I'm gonna stick with this. Okay. All right. Maybe. But what about there and then something else? Like a red polka dot, maybe? Do I have a red polka dot somewhere? What have I got? Tell me what I've won. No. Not quite. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. We put that there. And then we have that row of Polaroids showing. Then we have this at the bottom. And then we just need something to go in between them. Actually, maybe now I'll like that better at the top. What about you? Yeah. That works. That works. Or are you better? Oh yeah, that's better. All right, did I pick a liner? Oh yeah, I did. It's buried in this. There it is. Well, now I don't like it anymore. But that's okay. That's okay. Because I got an idea from Soleil. There's one in here that really just looked like, to me, like a crumpled envelope. This one. Okay. All right, perfect. Woo! My area is a mess. Yeah, you have won boxes to unpack. That's what you've won. No! Not boxes to unpack, please. All right, so I'm just gonna tuck this in. Okay, yes, that's cute. And these two are fine. What I'm not sure about now is this one. And I think I'm gonna swap it for the polka dot. But we can look at them both. All right, so here, let's get them. All right. So, 7 1/4. All right, so there's the chevron. And there's that looks better. I don't, we'll, this can probably show up later. I'm sure. Okay. So this needs to be 6 3/4 by 7. Well, probably what I'm going to do. So the question Ella has asked is, you know, lately I've been using a lot of digital papers so that people who come across my project can still do it if they want to, even if it's been some time since the paper came out or since I did the project. If I used a brand new paper when I did the project. And that's because, you know, there are people who want to be able to just do it exactly the way it was done. They like the look of it. They like that paper collection, and it can be disappointing for, yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to use that blue. No, we're not going to use that blue. We're going to use this pink right here. If they want to do it, you know, down the road, and they can. And so that is why I have been using mostly digital paper. Every once in a while, I think we're going to do a stash project. And my encouragement is going to be for you to use what's in your stash, you know. So, you know, if you happen to have these things in your stash, great. If you don't sweat it. You know, as you can see, I use just 4 brightly colored collections. You know what I mean? So you're just going to look for 4 kind of similar brightly colored collections that you have in your stash and mix them and match them and just do, you know, whatever you want to do, you know? So, because I do want to use some of these papers. I do want to use some of these papers. And what I might do is check to see who has digitized their collections from my stash and prioritize those first. As well. And also, you get one 50% off coupon at Paper Phenomenon a month. Is that correct? So when in doubt, I'll just use a Paper Phenomenon collection so that you can always get a, you know, a 50% off collection for a project. You know what I mean? So, because she has a monthly code pretty much every month now, right? For one. So when in doubt, that's what I can always do. But I do want, I want to use stuff that's available, but I also, you know, I don't want to not use paper. So I just want you to think, you know, you don't have to try and track down Basic Gray Soleil. Although, I think Snap Click Supply has their collections digitized. So if you wanted to, you could. You know, you could. Because the reason why is because I was on there and I saw that they had Serendipity and Shine On. And I don't know if you remember when Serendipity and Shine On came out, and they were exclusive to, I want to say, Hobby Lobby. And it was one of the best Basic Gray collections in a while. And they had a ton of just incredible embellishments. And people, we were like losing our minds trying to find it and get it. I know I had to drive to go find it. It was like a whole thing. So yeah. So you can now get it. That was like a white whale at at the time for a lot of people. It's now available, and I do want to do a project with it. It's actually 2 different collections, Serendipity and Shine On, but they're like related to each other. So So I do think Snap Click Supply can be a source for Basic Gray. Now, Cray Paper, at least last time I bought Cray Paper, was being made by American Crafts. I don't know if they still make it or if it's made at all. And I don't think they've digitized their collections that I know of. Which is too bad, because Cray Paper has some older stuff from before American Crafts took them over that I would love to have digitally. And Bo Bunny is another one that I can't remember if you could get them digitally or not. I want to say you can, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to try and prioritize collections that I have that digital versions are available from when I do these. This one was just on a whim. Just because I found so much good stuff while I was cleaning. So, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Da, 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 da. All right, so those are ready for tape. The strings are done. It's funny because I'm now putting stuff out of your sight line that used to be in your sight line, so I'm gonna have to adjust. I don't know if you can tell. Snap Click Supply has some Bo Bunny. Okay, thank you, Deb. I thought I saw some Bo Bunny digitally somewhere, so that's good. It's good to know that we may have a source for Bo Bunny. So I know Basic Gray, Snap Click Supply, Bo Bunny Snap Click Supply. Of course, they have Echo Park and Cartabella there, Prima as well. So they have quite a few designers now. And then Paper Phenomenon, of course, is an excellent source for digital paper. And like I said, I think she does once a month 50% off one collection coupon. So, you know, we can always plan ahead to buy with the coupon. And she's a great source for our Christmas in July projects because, you know, it's a Christmas paper everyone can get in July. So, but we may look at Bo Bunny for Christmas in July and see what they've got, because they did some beautiful winter and Christmas collections over the years. And I would just love for Scenic Route, I would love to have their stuff digitally. Oh, they made my favorite grid papers of all time. Of all time. But they went out of business so long ago. So October Afternoon, I would love to have their stuff digitally. That's another one. Ah, so many of the ye olden days. Cosmo Cricket's very old, yes. Actually found some Cosmo Cricket stuff. Oh no, Gretchen, how? I always said, specifically about blue cardstock, you could have 100 shades of blue cardstock, but you are never going to have a shade of blue that matches the collection you're trying to use for your layout. Something about blue cardstocks specifically is like impossible to match just right. Red, you can always find a decent red. Yellow, pretty much always find a decent yellow. Green, no problem. Purple, tricky. Blue, impossible. All right. So 2 3/8, but offset. Offset. The other thing we need to think about is, what is my summer hair color going to be? What is it? Because my winter hair color, which was like a red, faded to a pink, which is fine for spring, but now I'm kind of like, it's at the end of its rope, okay? So Simple Stories is another one that they've digitized everything, and you can get all their collections on their website, I think. You just have to like register or log in. You need to log in, but I think they approve everyone, so. Oh, Ella's finding treasures. Purple. This is light purple. Or as Mr. Lifeguard and I would say, light purple, which is an SNL joke. That joke's probably 20 years old now, so. I'm ancient. Oh, purple for my hair. Smart. Purple for my hair. We could try purple. The hairstylist, the last colorist I had, she said that because my natural hair color is very warm, and even with bleach and a blue toner, you know, it still pulls very warm, that there are some colors like, you know, that kind of silvery color that's really popular, lighter purples that are not going to work, but like warmer purples more in the magenta range can work. Like pinky purples, warm purples. And also because I wanted to do like a very light kind of sea foam, or not icy blue, and she said I could probably only get like a sea foam out of that because of how warm my hair is. And this is just more how color theory is not just for interior design. It's for crafting and getting your hair done and all of that. So I may be limited in my purples and blues. Because I did want to do just like a very icy blue once. And she was like, I don't think that's in your future. Sorry. So I'm more turquoise is what I can do. I did like the green when I had the green. Especially as it lightened. But it was a warm green, so that makes sense. We'll see. I need to look at pictures. I could also just go blonde for the summer. That is always an option. So, there we go. We got that. Let's add the rest. These have already been inked, so All right, so yeah, okay, perfect. So now we put the one without the string. All right. Well, it does feel nice to be back in the studio. And it feels nice to be able to find things without too much difficulty. Although obviously I'm taking too long for my sister because she messaged me this morning and the message was, when do you want to finish setting up the office? Oh, he did win? That's good. He said he was going to quit music if he didn't win. So there have been quite a lot of like high profile music and musician cases this year. I feel like Taylor Swift suing Ticketmaster, all kinds of stuff. I guess that's just 2. But 2's a lot. I don't normally notice 2 big musician lawsuits in a year. All right. Okay, so let us, I was thinking I wanted to maybe watch something kind of soapy and dramatic, like a TV. Wow, Donna, that's a little closer than I would like for sure. Ed Sheeran has a song. Is it Castle on the Hill? I don't know the title of it. But it's the one about growing up in the country and driving on country roads and going up to the castle on the hill to get drunk. That song I listen to every time I'm on a road trip because it reminds me, and I may have said this before, but it reminds me of college because I went to college in the country, in a countrified area, and we would drive insanely fast on these old country roads where there was like no possible way to avoid an accident because, you know, people who are under 25 are like they don't have brains that work. So they don't have brains that work the same way adults work. Insurance, yes, Castle on the Hill. Because everything in that song is basically like the same, right? So like whether you're growing up in like the English countryside or, you know, the American countryside, obviously I didn't drive to a castle on a hill, but you know, everything else is the same. Everything else is the same. So that song is so nostalgic for me. And I just, which I in and of itself find interesting because it is 2 totally different countries. But anyway, all right. We did it, friends. Can you believe? Totally matted in basically one day. So props to us. Oh my gosh. Look at all of these different patterns. I don't even think we reused a pattern once. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, that's 13, but it's used here, so it's still 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's reused, 34, 35. 35 different patterns of paper, different designs in this book so far. And they all look, at least 4 different collections. And it just looks so cute. It just looks so cute. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do another recording break. Again, for those of you who are watching live, just hang tight. Nothing's going to change for you. You don't have to do anything. The show will just stay running. If you're watching the progression of this in the archives or on YouTube, if you're in the archives, just click ahead to the next video to see how class ended. And if you're on YouTube, check the playlist for the rest of tonight's class. And if it's not there, if you're watching the last video in the playlist, just hang tight. It'll be there in the next day or two. Always click the subscribe button and the notification icon if you want to get notified when new videos are added to the playlist, or when I go live. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting. Bye now.